Yeah, this is a very interesting game. I almost said the H word that I'm not allowed to say, so instead I'll say, hi, Nintendo fan, how are you doing today? I almost said the other greeting word by accident. That was a close one. It's a force of habit.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally.
Wait,
this is great,
this is different.
He thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Why does it sound like there's something running? This?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office.
That doesn't start with H, Anima.
Nor did it advance the story in any way.
Yeah, this game is all over the place, essentially. Well?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors...
For anybody who hasn't seen it, I can show the default normal ending in the mind control facility. You sure about it?
Yet there was not a single
I can
person
show it
here
just
either.
because.
Feeling a wave
done it yet.
of disbelief, Stanley decided
Was
to go
there
up to
a
his
thing in
bosses.
here?
Oh no.
Oh, he
no,
remembers?
not again. I won't be part of this.
I don't
I'm
see
not
a
going to
B word in
encourage
here.
you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I was lied to. It was all a debate to get me to dab there. What was the thing? There's no thingamabob. Damn, Stanley back at it again at the boss's office. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't see a thing in here. Okay, well.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Let me show the
upstairs
normal
to his boss's
ending, I
office.
guess. For anyone who hasn't, seen it before.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
It's a very peculiar game. Alright, down we go. But yeah. Okie doke.
You just said hello.
I did
idiot.
not. I didn't. I said okie doke. I did not. I did not say the thing that you're accusing me of. This is a mistrial. Alright, this way.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, I'll show it this time. I'll show it. I did not.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I'll find out. We could always jump down and listen to the jammin' song again, but nah, this time I don't
Now
think.
the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each
that
bore
blue
the
one
number
there?
of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals
That platform
reduced
from
to
before.
images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
This way. What was that? A text thingamabob around here somewhere?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the
For over
operation. Controls labeled
16
with
and a half
emotions.
hours.
Happy or sad or content.
We're getting there.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
On,
For
off.
he would dismantle the controls once and
Off is like the
for
default
all.
canon thing. I'm fairly certain on is the rebellious thing. You could always let the narrator have his story this time. The way that he wants it. I'll do it this time, but if anybody really wants to see the on later, I could always do that. I'll let the narrator have his story this time. This time I shall. On to turn it off? Maybe.
Blackness.
It's one way to look at it there.
Chill of uncertainty.
Thought it was all well.
Was it over?
Was it already on or was it off? I don't even know.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments
Unshackled
away.
himself from someone else's command by following exactly what the narrator said on a completely linear path.
Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still
That's an
lay
interesting
unsolved.
thought
Where had his
to think about
gone?
there.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
I don't know. It was
What
idle?
this
Okay.
strange building hold?
Idle then.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
Yeah.
For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
For that to go
Stanley
away.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
You know, after my game design class that I've taken at university, I can't help but find it intriguing how the ending where Stanley is supposedly free and he's not following anybody else's commands or whims is the route where you follow exactly what the narrator is telling you to say rather than coming to your own decisions. You know, it kind of says something about linear game design and the way that we treat a lot of games out there, you know.
All of his co-workers were gone.
So,
what could it mean?
that's something.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's definitely some very interesting things like that in this game between the lines. Ah, that's the new content thing. So I can now access this whenever. So that's like for sure the new stuff that I haven't seen any of
When
before.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hold on. I don't think
This
I've
was
done like the
not
other way on the
to the
lift
meeting
yet,
room,
have I?
And Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I don't believe it. I
Perhaps
don't
he
remember
wanted
what's
to
that
stop
way.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So I'm gonna try over here.
Stanley
I'm
was
gonna
so
try.
bad at following directions. It's incredible.
Like
he
that
wasn't
door
5
there.
years
You
ago.
just said door. Knock knock.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really. I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult. But
Haven't
the
gone that
fact
way
is
yet.
that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
So I'd like to see what's over here.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
I don't quite remember.
Someone you forgot. Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of
Yeah,
this,
about
but I really do
shit,
want to
Annabelle.
help you, to show
Can I
you
not
something
with that?
beautiful. No, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
So I guess you have to
Give me
go
a
this
chance.
way? Hold on. Are there other possibilities by going this way? Because I thought that I could go through that one door, but I guess I
You
can't.
just said door. Knock knock.
Or the other things here, or is this just a straight
now,
shot
carefully,
to it?
This is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, we were doing blue before.
You just said weird, dumbass.
I didn't!
Oh,
I said
thank
blue.
God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
What is this? I don't quite remember.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
I think this was one of the ones I did with my little cousins now that I think about it. And if it has to go that way,
no,
then...
Wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
What happens if I do go back? What happens if I do go back here? Whoa!
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
It is interesting looking lights. It is kind of interesting looking, but I think I'm stuck here forever unless I,
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You are going to stay here, aren't you? You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you?
You'll be alright, Guzma.
Please, no,
Well.
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
What happens if I do go back? Did he say anything?
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
I think...
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
I think doing this is the only way to escape from this path.
No. No, no. What do you do? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
So, guess we're doing this again.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
So what happens if I go back?
Do that for me? Yes. Perhaps you can.
Just
Perhaps
curious.
you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see. You'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
I think this is the only way that I can leave this place is over here. I think.
No, perhaps not.
I'm not certain. Probably not. Be okay, I'm saying nah. Guess up we go again.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
It is a sad one.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Does he say anything if I go back?
Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
I just want to see what you say. Just curious. I don't think there's anything else going on in here. And now it's repeating.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
I think I gotta do the thing one more time. I'm also really slow now. Now I'm really quite slow, it seems like. So I guess up the stairs we go. Because I don't think we're getting out of here otherwise. I don't believe. It's probably the only way to get out of here and keep on doing other things, you know? So, I'm sorry, Mr. Narrator, but I think this is the way that it has to be. Well.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Readjust for a second here. Wow. With a small blanket because my legs are a little bit cold. Well, yeah, that's ending there. Another ending that I've heard is apparently in this game, as if you just close the door and don't leave.
You just said door. Knock knock.
Handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
Yeah, it makes some very interesting arguments about game design. I do genuinely wonder if I should one day do a video paper, let's say, on how the Stanley Parable kind of handles decision-making in games and how it, you know, applies arguments about how decisions are made in games. You know, like, even the very start of the game kind of alludes to that with, it's like, yes, Stanley sat on his desk and he pushed the buttons. He, pushed the buttons that they told him to do, how long they told him to do it, and all that, stuff. They pick up the phone quick. What?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Okay. Okay, then. There's that, I guess. Do the new content in a bit here.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
what's over this way?
Correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I know that we can go
Perhaps
down
he
like the
wanted to stop
escape
by
route
the
of the
employee lounge first, just to admire it.
mind control facility
Stanley
and
felt
the
lightheaded,
turning it on,
butterflies
but
in his stomach. But eager to get back
oh,
to business,
I should have
Stanley
seen
took
that.
the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section,
Gone
walked
down there
straight
before.
ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Don't know if I've gone down this way before. Anywhere you throw yourself off the elevator, I have not done that. Technically. Am I still barking? I'm not still barking. Where can I get the thing?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Wait, did this just redirect
Feeling
me?
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
we're going this way
upstairs
now.
to his boss's office.
Maybe, who knows? Well.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
So this is one of the things that we haven't showcased here yet.
His boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make...
Is there a door that I can...
You just said door.
For example,
knock knock.
Why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
I don't think
and for
there
that
is.
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to...
Wonder when I'm gonna wake up after I fall asleep after this 24-hour stream.
Well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring
Imagine if I could get on the car with that.
Magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility?
It is the Stanley verse, isn't it?
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Still point and walking around.
You just said playing.
I said point.
Just a moment ago. How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Yeah, readjust.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
It's a very peculiar game.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I think this would be a very interesting game to analyze. I do have to say.